Hi everyone, welcome to Data Appreciation with Shino. And what we're looking at is the sample superstore Tableau on Tableau desktop. So we're using it to have a look at standard deviation in sales. So we just had just a short video to support what we've done at a physical session at Business Intelligence Saturdays at Colab Innovation Hub Kaduna. So I would start on a fresh sheet to produce that. So first of all, what we did was to create a parameter, and we call the parameter select standard deviation. So it's more like when you have an interaction on the dashboard, the person can select standard deviation type 1, standard deviation type 2, standard deviation type 3. So it's from a list, is an integer. The person can pick 1, 2, 3 as his choice. And that's our first step to create a parameter. So what we did next was to bring in the fields which we required. So the fields we required are our sales and orders. So we're bringing in sales and order date. So we have two sets of sales. Then the order dates will now take it from discrete to continuous. Let's put it by month. So we have two separate line charts. So next, we would want to have one of them show our. So sorry, I mixed one up. So we also have a calculated field that would show us where we have anomalies. So we're going to have two sets of anomaly. So we have the anomaly. So if it's an anomaly, it will give us one color. If it's not an anomaly, then we will say it's expected sales type. So we have the if, or then. So remember, for any function you don't understand, you can go and check what that function means on the side here. So we have the if. So test a series of expressions returning the then value for the first true. Example, if profit is greater than 0, then profit table, which is just our own or your own phrase. Else profit is equals to 0, then break even. So you either have profit or you have break even. So that's what we're having anomaly or expected here. So it's an then if or then else. So we have the if or then else end statement. So if sales is greater than upper control limit, so we have. So I'm going to go into our two calculated fields, upper control limit and lower control limit. So then anomaly else expected then end. So let's first of all go back to our lower control limit before upper control limit. So remember we created a calculated field earlier. So here we can see what window average means. So now the window average is a float status. So window average, then we have the aggregation in front. So we have window average, we have Windows standard deviation. So because I talked to you earlier, we're doing the sales standard deviation. So you can see window average. Remember, click on sum here. It returns the sum of all values in the expression, and some can be used with numeric fields only. So you can see the numeric field that sum is on sales. So you can see the Windows standard deviation picks the expression, start and the end. So we're multiplying, we're taking our Windows average minus. So remember, Windows average is also a field, so I'm going to take it to Windows average minus the Windows standard deviation sum of sales multiplied by select. So we have this as our parameter. So let's go to our window average calculated field. So our window average is window average of our expression sum of sales. So everything is a, a hierarchy we've put together for getting our anomaly. So if we now bring in our anomaly color on our second sales on the row, so we bring in our anomaly color, drop it there, so we can see our anomalies. So next, what we do is change this to circle. So because we want to see them as a dual chart, we come over here and make it a dual axis. So we now have our anomalies on red and our expected sales. So anomalies, this way we can also look at them as outliers. So, and remember, we had the upper limit and we had the lower limit. So anything that had gone above our upper limit will be indicated here. Anything that gone below our lower limit indicated on this lower part of the graph. So, so you can see how we got about seeing our sales that were above and below our expected standard deviation. Thank you very much and see you in the next video for this.